Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. Joey Escabel here, your pal Joey, and my pal Cody Landfeld.
Hey, this was a fantastic episode. We're excited for you guys to check it out.
Yep. And I wasn't wearing an Angels hat on the episode, but forgive me, all you Dodger fans out there. Adios, Cometa. What a great group of guys. It's the first time we actually interviewed two people at the same time, and we thought it was going to be a little crazy talking over each other, but it went perfectly. So Emma and Pablo, really good people. And these guys are making some of the best music. They're family guys, so they're married, have kids, and they use that as their inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that was really cool is to hearing about their story on how they got together, kind of starting a little bit late and understanding sort of their connection to faith. And then one of the other things that was cool is understanding that their engineer records a lot of the popular music or the legendary music out there in Costa Rica. So they've got some really good studio access, and the quality of their music is really cool. So, and also one thing we learned is they've shared the stage with a lot of cool bands in the genre too, playing in Argentina, playing in South America. I don't know if they played in the States, but they've definitely played on a lot of Mexico, places like that. So it was really cool to hear all of those details for sure.
And they made it very clear they're not going to play in Idaho probably anytime soon. So it took me a couple of days to get over that. You'll be kind of shocked for all you shoegaze. I hate that term shoegaze, but all you heavy guitar rockers, you'll be amazed at some of the gear they have, or the lack of gear. I'll just say that.
Yeah, fantastic band, fantastic new release. We got a chance to talk a lot about their new album that just came out, a few months ago. And being that the CD was released on Velvet Blue Music, and obviously Velvet Blue Music has put out their other stuff, but also they've got vinyl going out in Europe and also in the States with Steadfast Records. So really cool to see all of the different variants. So yeah, and then stay tuned for a surprise announcement or something that Jeff and them are cooking up. So it's pretty cool.
Yep, we're not going to tell you now. You got to listen. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the episode.
Listening to the Velvet Blue Music Podcast. In each episode, Joey Escabel and Cody Landfeld sit down with a featured VBM artist and discuss one of their favourite records, the stories behind the songs, and other insights. Let's join Joey, Cody, and the featured guest on today's Velvet Blue Music Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Once again, it is the Velvet Blue Music Podcast. I'm here with Cody Landfeld. Hey, Cody.
Good to be back.
Yeah, Cody is my right-hand man. He's the guy that brings me super cool bands to interview. He also sets up the scheduling. This wouldn't happen without him. So Cody, thank you for all of your work. So guys, we are here. This is one of my new favorite bands, I gotta admit. I've been listening to the record the last week, and I'm super excited. We have Adios, Cometa.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
We're honored to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you for making us part of this.
Yeah, and you guys are Velvet Blue fans, right? Like you guys are fans of the label even before you guys signed.
Yes, we are. So I discovered Velvet Blue Music through Starflyer, of course.
Okay.
So I was trying to remember it, but I think it was like 2008 or 2007 that I found about Starflyer, and I just fell in love. So I'm usually pretty obsessive with the stuff that I like. So I obviously went deeper and found about Velvet Blue Music, and then I joined a Facebook group, and that's how I found about I don't know, Fine China. It's one of the first bands I listened to, and I love it. I actually shared it with Pablo at the time, and we fell in love because they just released No Thrill, if I'm not mistaken, and we fell in love with that record. So it was a great inspiration for us when we started Adios Cometa. And yeah, so we started like sharing bands. I can mention Fine China. Well, later on, Rocky Valentines. I mean, I love everything that Velvet Music puts out in the world. So
Yeah. Charlie is pretty awesome. You heard the latest Starflyer song that came out yesterday, right? I mean, that's some Pablo. I think you would agree. That's some good drumming right there. I'm not even going to attempt. Yeah. I'm not even going to attempt to play something like that. I'm done.
He's very talented for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But hey, let's learn about each other. Pablo, why don't you go ahead and start off here? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Pablo. I am from San Jose, too, Costa Rica. And sorry, I sound a little bit sick, but I was sick last week. I have 2 kids. My latest was born a month ago, so it's been really exciting.
Wow.
Lots of sleepless nights, but very much manageable. Like the second one, you don't freak out as much. But you know what I mean? It's easier.
If my first kid sneezed, we'd rush her to the emergency room.
Yeah, you would track like every time you feed them and all that stuff. This time it's like she's hungry, let's just feed her. But
yeah.
But no, So I'm from Costa Rica. I did live in the United States for 9 months. I did my senior year in Wisconsin, out of all places.
Oh, really? Wow.
So it was fun, and that's where I kind of got more into the music scene from the United States. I mean, it was always a big thing in Costa Rica, right? Like most kids would listen to like English speaking, bands and things like that. And so, but being there is where actually like I got that. What's that magazine, like CCM? Is that what you called it before? Was it CCM? It was like a contemporary Christian metal? Music kind of. No, it was like Christian actually.
No, there is CCM, and then there was Hard Music Authority, which was Heaven's Metal back in my time. But
Seven
but
Ball.
Yeah, CCM. Yeah, Seven.
But yeah,
Ball.
so and you would like see articles and see those things like in person, because like in Costa Rica you would listen to things through TV, or like there was like internet wasn't a big thing at the time. It was obviously later, but then like seeing the actual samples live and you being able to get the actual records, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So Wisconsin has like a music scene, huh?
It does. Where I was though, it was a little bit more of a countryside. I wasn't in a city. It was more like a town, and there's like farms and woods and nothing really for miles, and then you get to a city, right? So it's like I was a little bit isolated, but at the same time, I don't know, it was kind of cool to be closer to the actual music that you would listen to, because it's closer than Costa Rica. So
usually college towns, they're pretty with it. So
yeah. I didn't go too many concerts at the time. I was a senior in high school in a different country, so I wasn't independent, to be honest. I was just stuck there studying, but it was still fun. It was still cool, and you kind of saw the Midwest kind of feeling of like you experienced it a little bit there.
Oh man, yeah, especially the Midwest. Whenever people, whenever you watch like Soylent Green, the movie, if you think like overpopulation, all of that bull crap, go into the Midwest and you'll find out there's plenty of room, man. Plenty of room to spread out, but we just don't. So, but Emma, tell me about yourself. You got married, kids as well, or?
Yes, I'm married. I have 2 kids. So I have a boy, he's 3 years old, and a girl. She's a year and a half. Actually, we are 5 in the band, but 4 of us we have kids, all of us.
Oh, that's great, man. Man, you guys look super young though. Are you guys? I mean, how old are you, Pablo?
I'm 36 now.
Oh, that's young to me.
Yeah, okay.
And
good.
Same thing for you, Emma.
Yes, we're so Pablo and I are we are 36, and Mark and John are 37, I think, right? And
Yeah.
the youngest one is Guy, and he's like 28, I think, right?
Wow, that's like a baby to me.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you guys are young enough to just be you're ready to be rock stars and somehow juggle a family at the same time. That's pretty cool.
But somehow it feels like we got in late, and we can talk about that later. But like it feels like
Sure.
we started when, at a point in our lives where it's like you're not, you don't feel like you can eat the world. Like it feels more like a hobby. But at the same time, I feel like that enabled us to do this better with a different mindset too, right?
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get there for sure.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you guys are doing, you're doing it correctly, I think. So we'll talk more about it in a second here. But tell me about Adios Cometa origins. Like, so how did you guys meet? And how did you guys know that you guys could play your instruments really well and start a band?
It is an interesting story. I don't think so. For me personally, I always wanted to have a band and play music, but it's not something that I actively pursued. It was more like I always wanted to do that. It's one of those dreams that you kind of have, but you don't feel like it's going to be possible. For me, it was like that. I was raised in church, and that's where I learned and played my instrument. I played drums since I was a kid. And I feel like a lot of, most musicians that I like, they started that way. I think church has really, create a lot of musicians.
Same thing with me. I started, I became a Christian when I was 15, and I started playing drums in the worship team. And you start playing when you're 12, 13, 14, 15, where most unchurched people, they can't even go into the bars until they're 21 years old, right? So
you're getting the experience.
We have the experience and the head start, and we're learning how to play, and so get a reaction.
And I feel like in most places, at least in small churches, like they don't have that requirement of you being really that good, and you can just learn while doing it, right? So that was the way I started. I wasn't educated really, but to go back to your question, I always wanted to do that. I tried to start a band with friends before Adios Cometa, and they were really bad. It was like ska covers of like
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It's just not even like.
So was
I
that
won't talk
back
about
in
it, really.
Was that back in like 2001, 2000? Because that's kind of when.
Yeah, probably like 2000. Yeah, maybe a little bit later than that, but yeah, it was like it never really happened. We just got together to practice. We didn't create our songs. It was just like playing covers, and it's like this is going nowhere. So that was dropped. But then I met Emma, and the story is quite interesting. I don't know if we have that much time to go through everything, but I met Emma, and we started to see that we shared the same music taste. Basically, like we loved the same things, and all of a sudden, I think we also played in church too. And then when we were talking, it's like, hey, it would be nice to kind of just get together and play something, right? And we started getting together with a friend. In his office, they had a drum set. It was a really cool office space, and they had a drum set there. And we would get there, and we would just play like infinite crescendo, like ambient and post-rock songs. Just for the fun of it, right? And we just started playing. That was all. Like that was what we did. And then I think Emma can expand on this one, but it's Emma at some point said, "Hey Pablo, I have this friend, and he sent me this song. Listen to it, right?" And I heard it, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness! Like this is something special. Like why don't we just get together with that guy too and start and practice that song, right?" And to make it short, we got together with him, and Emma also knew, and John also knew Mark, who is the bass player. And we played that day, and we played that song that he sent us, as an audio message. And after that one, we ended up creating the second song right then, on the spot. Like it felt special. Like we just finished the practice, and it's like, oh, we have two songs now. What do we do with this? this is a very short summary, but it is kind of how we started. It was casual, fun, nothing really planned, and we're not like thinking, hey, we're gonna create a new band. It's just like, let's just play for the fun of it.
So, Emma, tell us a little bit about, Adios becoming more of a serious band and how that looked for you all.
Yeah, as Pablo said, it actually started like an excuse to see each other like every week and just hang out. And we used to have practice, go to practice, and then go into the Chinatown of San Jose and have like wonton soup and just hang out. So it started like that. It was just before COVID. I mean, that was like November, December of 2019. And a couple of months after that, COVID arrived and everything changed. But for us, it was like a good time to create songs, because we had a lot of free time. So we just start like sharing guitar tracks with each other and ideas, whatever. And that's how the rest of the first EP, like Somos, was created. I think it was like through audio messages in WhatsApp. And then we went to the studio and we record those songs. And we just wanted to have like a record, I think it was our goal for all of us, because we started without Guy. It was the four of us: Pablo, John, Mark, and I. And I think the only one that had like more experience with music was Mark, because he had like a couple of bands and he did like a more serious kind of bands at that time. But it was actually our first band for the three, for Pablo, John, and I. So we had like this goal to like create a record and create these songs and then doing the artwork, and it was like super exciting for us, and it still is exciting for us.
Right? Yeah, I bet.
All
Yeah.
that process.
Now it's funny. COVID usually destroys bands, but COVID brought you guys together, and it allowed you guys to put out your first record. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, somehow it was like the perfect setting for us, because suddenly we have like all the free time in the world, and we were just in our houses and playing guitar
And I think we didn't know better. That's why it also helped, because we didn't play shows before, right? And so like we didn't depend on getting together to play shows to create music. We didn't know anything else. So what we knew was sharing audio tracks through WhatsApp to our friends, and that's the way we created. So I feel like that just, I don't know, it was the perfect formula for us, because we didn't have any other experience. In fact, one of the first goals once we recorded the first EP was, how can we make something that then lets people know that we can play these songs live, because we can't play them live, right? Like, so we did a live session, because we wanted to let people know, hey, we exist. At some point, you'll be able to hear this. But it was weird just existing without being able to interact with people at the time.
But at that time, we used to say that we didn't care about playing live.
Yeah,
it was our
true
idea
too.
at that time, because we have never did that. But after that, when we finally had the chance to play live, it changed our mind. I mean, it was like, this is the best thing ever.
Right. Yeah. And then you discover you could buy a bunch of pedals, that could just create a nice thick sound, and you could kind of hide behind those, for a period of time. So.
And it was interesting too, because like Emma, you bought the guitar with John right when we started the band. Like Emma didn't play guitar much, I don't think, right?
So you didn't even own a guitar.
No,
wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yes, I think it was like, I think it was probably May of 2019 when John and I bought our first guitars. I mean, I knew how to play guitar, but it was very basic.
You just had like a little classical guitar in your house that you kind of
Yes,
noodled
exactly.
on. Yeah, that's how I grew up too.
I used to play like guitar on church, like when I was like a kid, but it was just like chords and But later on, I used to play bass on church, and
Okay.
I think John used to play guitar in church. But I mean, we didn't have like a electric guitar in our houses. So yeah, we bought a guitar a couple of months before our first practice as a band.
And then you had to buy an amp, and then you had to go buy cables, and you had to do the whole package.
Yes,
All the
we had to
stuff.
buy all of that.
Yeah,
There you
man.
go.
You guys are really good. I hate using the word shoegaze, just to let you know. I hate that. I don't like emo. I don't like shoegaze, but it is a thing, right? So I have to call it shoegaze. But you guys are really good at the cross between shoegaze and emo. So did that come naturally to you guys? You guys said you played in an office. Were you playing that kind of music when you guys started playing together?
Not really. We did love post rock. I remember that was a theme for at least Emma and I when we started with like practicing. Like These Trees Could Talk, for me at least, like that was a band that I would listen all the time. Russian Circles, like it was this like, or Explosions in the Sky, like all like this
Yep.
huge sounding tracks. I didn't know what that was specific. Like I wouldn't think of it technically. Like, oh, we need to add reverb, or like that's the way you play. In a way, though, I do think, I really believe that. I mean, especially now, and not that I'm a really big fan of it right now, but it's church music is sort of that way now. Like swells and like it grows to a climax, and then there's those dynamics like were natural to me because I was playing that in church. You know what I mean?
Right.
So trying to do that in a different setting, it wasn't that really weird for me. If I grew up on pop or other things, which I sort of did, but like if I was playing like jazz or all that stuff, maybe that would be different, but it felt natural. So to hear that we're good at that, it's an honor, but we're just kind of like trying to play the things that we like and imitating the things that we've grown up with in a way, right?
It's in the DNA. Yeah. We get
Maybe,
that.
right? Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think that you kind of led into the next question. So just wanting to, maybe Emma, you could expound on this. Just, what type of influences just shaped the way that you write, or the way that you sing, and the way that you approach songwriting?
Yeah, so I will say that, as Pablo said, post rock it's like a huge influence for all of us. I think it's one of the common grounds between the four, well, now five of us. When we started doing music, we didn't have like an agenda, or like let's do shoegaze or let's do emo or whatever. It was pretty natural. I think the first time that we practiced, that was the time that when we played Franco for the first time. That song Franco that is on La Que Somos. I think the first version of that song was like mostly punk rock. I mean, it was like super different than how it is today. But yeah, I don't know if Pablo have like a different answer for this, but I think I'm not sure how we evolved like to shoegaze. I mean, I think we start like sharing music to each other, because yeah, I mean, Mark or bassist, bass player, he has more like a folk influence. He used to have like a really good like folk project before the band, and I will say that I was more influenced by Starflyer, that kind of stuff. So probably
Sure.
the shoegaze thing came through that, and
Yeah.
all of us had like different influences. Like John had like more like a grunge influence, like Nirvana,
There you
whatever. Pablo even have some emo, more pop rock influences. So when we start playing together, we had like to, okay, let's see what works best for all of us. And I think the
Right.
common ground was that kind of, I would say that heartfelt music, music that makes you feel something. Love that,
Yes. Yeah.
love that. And also, as Pablo said, like those swells and crescendos and whatever, it was like natural for us.
I'm gonna steal that from you. Like music that makes you feel something. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And I'll say one more. I got to say one thing though. You guys are all the common theme, not only the post rock, but is also the church thing. So at some point, we should get a Adios Cometa gospel album, right? At some point,
Right. Our interpretation
that.
of modern Christian songs.
just like hymns that are in like a post rock theme or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pablo, you should tell
that's-
them about Fuego. It's almost like
Yeah.
a worship version
Right.
of Cometa.
Yeah, in a way. So I also play, me and Guy, the other guitarist, the young one, we play in a band Fuego, which is worship music, but it is different than, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'll share some links to you guys, but it is influenced by rock too, right? So
Very cool.
especially the early stuff, but it is very influenced by, rock and so it also, I think that's like what Emma said, is when we try to play a common thing or one project, where it landed is, you would call it shoegaze, or like big guitars, big sounds, and like swells, and like that's where we all connected. Then influenced by everything else, like that. If you would look at it as a graph, it's like where what we liked, that's where it collided, and that's where we.
Perfect.
But we try to not use shoegaze like tag ourselves shoegaze, because I don't know. Well, probably now we're more shoegaze than ever. But I mean, if you listen to our first EP, it's not shoegaze at all. I mean, it's like influenced by shoegaze, but it's not like shoegaze per se, But I think the newest record, it's more like conventional shoegaze in some ways. But yeah, it's like it's that kind of tags are like interesting.
Right. Yeah. Again, I hate that term, but I have to say
I get it.
The rest of the world calls it that, so I have to do it. Yeah. But hey, guys, I've been reading your articles online. You guys have been getting a lot of write-ups, and a lot of people are starting to pay attention to you guys right now. So how does that make you guys feel that a lot of people are enjoying it? They're actually understanding what you guys are doing. And you said you had some releases from, I want to say, Steadfast Records. What's another one, like Spinda or something like that? They noticed you.
Yeah.
And would you give credit to those labels to get you out there and allow people to listen to you?
Yeah, I think Emma's got a lot of good points about this, but what I'll say is, for sure, like their work or their collaboration with us has definitely, it has an impact on who listens and like who our music reaches out to. But I will say that I don't want to make it like us versus them. Like the credit, I give a lot of credit for this to Emma. There's been a lot of, us doing it too. Like Emma in this case, he's really good at this, and he loves doing it too. So like I feel like a lot of the work, the early work, was Velvet Blue. Like it was amazing that it happened, but it happened because Emma reached out and had the vision to kind of, or at least dare to do it, right? Like so, there's a lot of that too. So it's
Emma,
both things.
Emma, you're like the business guy, huh? You like to get out there.
Yeah.
The salesperson.
I love this kind of stuff. Yeah. So I'm actually a journalist, so that's probably why I like that kind of stuff, like the PR side of this thing. So yeah, that's how we first had contact with Jeff, because of, I used to buy a lot of stuff from BBM. So at some point he probably knew me, like the Costa Rican guy that used to buy like Starflyer Records or whatever. So when we did our first EP, we had like everything ready, and we were like we were about to release the thing for ourselves. But I said the other guys like, give me just a couple of days to try something. So I sent Jeff an email with the EP, and it was like, hey Jeff, it's Emma from Costa Rica. You may know me because I'm always buying stuff from you. And this record is inspired by Starflyer and most of the BBM bands. So if you like it, just let us know. Maybe we would love to do something with you. And I think he didn't reply for a couple of weeks or so. And we were.
That sounds about right.
So when we were like about to release it by ourselves, we received like an email, and he was like, "Hey man, I love this record. Let's do it." And that's how we start like working with BBM. And after that, I actually met Jeff in person. Like I think it was like 3 years ago or something. Oh, wow. So I'm also a photographer, a wedding photographer. So I work in the U.S. as well. So I had a wedding in Los Angeles, and yeah, I met Jeff. We went for some beers and pizza, and it was great. Talking in person finally, and so yeah, that's how we start working with BBM, and then Steadfast. I think it was through BBM as well. I mean, it's like in a small circle, and yeah, that's how things start like flowing.
Got it. Okay, and those labels are pretty much just distributing out in certain areas, right? Like I imagine VBM would be out in America, like Steadfast or the other, what was the other one, Spinda? They're out distributing out there. Is that how that works?
Yeah, right now it is like that because Spinda Records is from Spain, so they mostly distribute to Europe and other parts of the world, but mostly like Europe. And obviously Spain is like an important market for us because of the language. So it's kind of like a new market for Latin American music. So yeah, it's good to have that in Spain. And Steadfast distributes mostly in the US, of course, and also BBM. So that's how we split like things. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I know Cody's going to ask a question here, but one more. How did it feel? You guys were big fans of VBM, and you guys are finally being released. I mean, how did that feel?
Incredible. Like, it was unbelievable. I'm like, when we were actually, like released, I remember Emma, I think, showed us a screenshot of, the section in the website where it shows the bands. We're right next to Starflyer and like close to Fine China. I'm like, what is this? Like we barely just exist. Like we were just born like a month ago, and all of a sudden we're right next to these legends. And
crazy.
It's music that
all is right with the world. Yeah.
Right. And so it still feels, and I'm really honest about this, it still feels the same way when an article comes out, talking about our music. When this happens right now, when we're talking about our music, it feels that way because it's like we never really thought that this would happen. And yeah,
at this point in life, everything is like a win. Everything that happens, it's like
after recording, like Emma said it's we just wanted to put things on a track. That's all. Like however that sounded, whoever listened to it, like we didn't know. Everything else is a win. Like we're not. If we go to a show and 10 people show up, that's a win. Like it really is. Like we weren't expecting anything really from this.
Yeah, great perspective. Yeah, so I have a question about the format. So I had to get this guy from Jeff.
That's awesome.
And then I had to get this guy. I hope it's not upside down. Is it upside down?
Yeah, it's okay.
I had to get this guy from Steadfast. So, which is awesome, by the way. I don't know if you guys. Anybody out there?
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Cassette has great artwork on there. Yeah,
I want that one. I don't have that one.
So, what went into what label released the different formats? How did you all decide that?
So yeah, Spinda and Steadfast Records did the vinyl run. So they just split. Like I think Steadfast had like 300 records and Spinda 300 records as well. And for the CDs, so Spinda did a run of CDs for Europe, and it's completely different than the BBM run that it's more for the US. And Steadfast did cassettes for the US, and Spin that did cassettes for Europe, and the designs are different as well. So actually,
Oh,
that
man. I got to
design,
get those too, huh?
yes. So that design that you show us was made by Matt from Steadfast. He did that with the cassette
Cool.
shell. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
And
it's
for
great.
example, the booklet is different in both versions. And we
Okay.
did CDs with BBM just because we wanted to include BBM in something. So early on, I think I shared the record with Jeff, and we would just talk like, let's do CDs. I mean, we did the same with the past LP, Nuestras Manos Son Incendios. So we did like a vinyl run with on a small label, Daydream Records, but we wanted to have like CDs with BBM. So yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, that's the one I need. I need Nuestros on vinyl. I
Yes.
saw it for sale, and I was like, "Hey, let me get this next week or a week." It was sold out, so
It
I'm
was
like,
gone. Yeah.
I know. I'm like asking if somebody wants to sell one to me for like $100 or something. So
Yeah, well, we're doing another pressing.
awesome.
Yeah, with a
Cool.
Steadfast later this year. So yeah, you have to be patient, but
Awesome.
you will have it for sure.
I feel like the cool thing about the way that we've been working with these labels is they've been really respectful of this, and it's been really cool because it allows us to then, like, whoever wants to chime in and help with vinyl, for example, then we do it with them, and then after that's done, we're open to then, like, I don't know, knock on some doors and then see if anybody else wants to work with us with CDs or cassettes. It's been really cool to work that way because I don't think that labels, like, you usually hear horror stories about labels. Like, we've been fortunate enough to work with people that just believe in the music and they let you do your thing and help you get there more than controlling what you do and all that stuff.
Awesome, man. That's cool. Well, do you mind me getting into the record that we're supposed to be reviewing here? I'm okay. I'm going to give it a try. This is me butchering your guys' beautiful language, okay?
Let's
Un
do it.
Destello de Luz. How is
That sounds good, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I guess so. You recorded at Mint Audio. So Mint Audio is a studio in San Jose, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Is it that now? These guys haven't seen the picture yet, but the picture that you sent with the drums overhead, is that the studio that we're talking about?
That's it, yeah, correct.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your engineer, Pablo Ocampo. Is he obviously he knows what he's doing? Yeah, tell me a little bit about him.
So, yeah, Pablo has been a key member of Adios Cometa, really. To give you the context, we started without knowing what we were doing, mostly, right? Technically speaking, even worse. Like, we've never done it before. I mean, Mark did, and he knew his stuff, but like all the other people were just like, hey, how do you record this stuff, right? Like, we didn't know. We worked with a producer for the first EP, and then when we wanted to record other things, the producer he moved on to different things, and we were looking for someone to help us with this. I think Pablo, he was great at, he's got this demeanor, like, he's really calm and motionless, and he's got no expression in his face. He could be annoyed, but you never know, or he could be excited and you never know. But I think that helps because he's very patient with us, right? So like when I need to do like a third take, he's like, yeah, just go with it, you know? Or when we iterate on the track many times, he would be patient enough not to impose his technical knowledge, which is great. He would just let it happen, and then we
Just
would
let it happen
dialogue, and
naturally.
then yeah, not that he wasn't right. It's more like he just wanted to hear what we wanted to say, and then see how he could get there. So I think it's been a growth process for both of us, you know, the band and him, because again, going to the shoegaze label, the dreaded shoegaze label, it works different than pop or rock in general. You've got layers, you know, organized separately in different ways. Like, you've got guitars, or the instruments and then the voice, all that stuff. We don't really do it that way, you know. That's why we don't consider ourselves like shoegaze, but like in a way it does get that influence. So like if you asked a normal engineer, they would probably go like, you know, this is wrong, I'm not going to do this because it is going to taint. I don't know,
I've worked with engineers like that where you just kind of feel like, oh, I better hurry up and not piss him off either further. But awesome
exactly.
that he's the opposite of that. Yeah.
The opposite. So he took the opportunity to grow with us. I think he was patient enough to grow with us. So yes, he was trying to get us to the right path, but at the same time, he's like, okay, I'll let you decide, and we'll see what happens. And then, in a way, we finally, I think, you know, we found the common space where we understand each other better. And I feel like we're still learning. So hopefully it gets better as we go.
And was it mixed and mastered there as well, or did that go somewhere else?
Mastering went to a different person, Alberto Ortiz. What's the name of his studio, Emma?
I think it's
Jungle.
He's a really experienced engineer from Costa Rica, so he has worked like in most of the classic rock records made in Costa Rica since like the 70s or whatever. So he's really good at what he does. So yeah.
The first mastering was a really interesting story. It was in the middle of COVID, and we were trying to see, how do we master this? Do we upload it to the SoundCloud app and just kind of master it that way? Or, you know, like we didn't know. And then all of a sudden, Emma sees a post in Facebook where he's like, you know, due to COVID, I'm gifting a mastering session to any upcoming artists, you know, to kind of help out. And Emma kind of like wrote to him, and he's like, he heard the song and he did it for free for us. That was the first time.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
that is great.
So,
really cool.
So after that, it was just natural to go back to him. You know, like we said, okay. We'll
so he's your guy then. So does he do the mixing and the mastering, or
just the mastering? And Pablo did the mixing and producing, and then the mastering went to him.
And
man, that song was great, guys.
That song was Franco. So that's why we released that song first, because it was the only one that was like really.
Because it was free.
It was finished and it was free, so let's do it, and we just release it after that.
Yeah, the price is right, man. That's pretty cool. So translated, your record, Flash of Light. So why did you name your record this?
So it's a good question. So the record before that one, Nuestras Manos Son Incendios, was kind of a dark record. I mean, like music-wise and also lyric-wise. And we just wanted to do something different. But for this record, it's kind of interesting because music-wise, I will say that this one, Un Destello de Luz, is even darker than the past one. So we wanted to have like this kind of irony, like speaking about light and about enlightening on our title, but that the music were like more dark. I don't know if that makes sense at all. What would you say, Pablo?
I would say that it also, what Emma said, it's that like opposite of like the music being dark and loud and you know. But I think it also, we gather influences from a lot of people and a lot of artists. And there's a photographer, Emiliano Zúñiga from Costa Rica. He takes photos on film. And I remember Emma showing me different photos from his portfolio. And, you know, kind of like the light caught our attention. Not that we planned it because of that, but like I feel like that all those themes of light and so glimmer, glimmer of light is what I think resonated with us, translated into English. But like it's that between all the craziness and shadow, like you could see it as hope maybe in a way. So it's like there's all this darkness and then there's hope. I don't know. For me at least, that's how I saw it.
And some of the songs talks about parenthood as well. So we wanted to have like that. That kind of sweetness, like impregned, like in the middle of that kind of loud and dark sound, you know. So it was like a glimpse of light between all of that.
You kind of answered the question. I definitely wanted to get to the emotional thread across the album, but I'll go ahead and skip to the next one. Are these songs mostly new songs, or were these things that didn't make the last record, or were they written early on in the band? Help us understand how you chose this batch of songs specifically.
So I think most of these were sort of, I mean it's a mix, but it's not songs that we necessarily like couldn't record on time, or that, like, I don't think that's the case. It's more like we created them for a new thing. I do remember a specific time when we were talking, and when we created the first record, like LP, the first long record, we were amazed that we were able to do that, because we didn't think we would be able to do that. We were, like, I don't know, every song I'm like, what else are we gonna do? Like, once you're done with one, it's like, what's next? I don't know. I doubt myself a lot, maybe sometimes, but it's like, I didn't think that we would be able to make more songs, basically. It's like, I felt stuck. But then all of a sudden, I remember we were talking, it's like, why don't we just, now that we created one, why don't we just go ahead and commit ourselves to create a new LP again? Let's just do it again. Instead of going for a single, right, which is, I guess, easier to kind of put out something quicker, but it's like, why don't we just go for it, right? And so these are not leftover songs. That's what I wanted to say. These are songs that we created from scratch to kind of we thought of it as a new record, Right. I mean, there are some things, like special things like Victoria, which is the last song. It's basically Piel from the first EP, which was an acoustic version that we recorded at Mark's apartment at the time. But then we started playing live, and then it felt like a whole different song when we played it live, and we're like, we should play it that way for the record. And so it's a homage also to like things that we've done in the past, but it's a new thing. But it was all thought of as a new record. That's what I wanted to say.
Cool.
Got it. Cool, man. Thank you. Thanks for explaining that. I think Cody just showed very briefly with the album cover. I'm just going to go ahead and shove the cover. You guys don't see it right now, but our fans will see it here. So these are the pictures that you were talking about. Your friend that takes the picture and films, and you could see like an eeriness, but then there's light coming out, and that's kind of the flash of light. I could kind of see that. Not to look too deep into it, but why the color red? Was it like is it like an alert? Does it represent something else, or is it just you guys like the color red?
I think we love using like solid colors on our covers. So our first EP is like mostly yellow. Nuestras manos son incendios is mostly like blue and black. And for this one, we wanted to have like red. I can't say why exactly, but it's mostly about urgency. Yeah, I will say so. And for this record, we wanted to do something more minimalist, because artwork for us is like one of the hardest parts of doing a record, because the five of us are pretty picky about like that, about visual stuff. So I'm a photographer. Pablo is like how do you say it, Pablo?
Like digital animator. So yeah.
Oh wow!
I do 3D stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
So all of us somehow works like in that kind of stuff. So we're super picky. So it's always like super hard like to decide on something. So for this one, we were like, let's do something minimalistic. Like let's use something more photographic for this one, and that's how we found Emiliano's work, that we absolutely love it. And I think it captures like what we try to express with our music. We also, I love to present things like and not saying too much about the thing. I prefer like
like a mystery.
Yes, I prefer like to present something that evokes like something, but don't say what it is exactly. So I think those photographies like works well like that, and I think
Yeah.
the music and the lyrics are like that as well. That's our
If
goal.
the song is about parenting, we're not showing like, you know, a dad.
You don't
with
want
a
to show your
kid.
cards.
You know, like it's more like things that evoke a feeling, but don't necessarily correlate to the song directly.
Fair enough, guys. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I do like the simplicity of it too. But I was very curious about the photos in the cover. So thanks for explaining that.
Of course.
I should confess that it was inspired by a cover by this screamo Japanese band Envy. So they released like a B-sides compilation or something. I saw it. It was like a red cover with some pictures, and I think I said like, this is perfect. That's what I want. I would like to have for the new record. So that's like a trivia fact.
Oh yeah.
Deep lore.
Yes.
There you go. All right, so I'm at a disadvantage here, guys, because I think even Joey has me beat on the Spanish. You probably speak a little bit better Spanish than I do, Joey. So how do I pronounce this next song? I'm afraid
Okay.
to try it, honestly.
Okay, so normally people rate me by if I could figure out what the meaning of a song. This is going to be how good my Spanish is this episode. Okay, so the first one's going to be okay. So this is the part of the episode where we talked about the 3 most streamed songs on Spotify. So first one is Una Vida en Otra Parte. Is that good?
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Are you just being nice or?
I don't know.
Well, you don't sound Costa Rican, but anyone could understand you.
Okay.
That's, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay,
So you
good.
did
I'll
you
take
did
it.
great. Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Maybe
it. Okay.
more Hispanic from Southern California. A little bit.
Right. I mean, yeah, but no, but it is. You did great. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, thank you, Joey, for the save here, because I know that I'm from Arizona, so we're right above Mexico, so I've been around Mexican people all my life, but man,
No excuse. You have no excuse.
I should be better by now. So anyhow, yeah, Joey does such a good job of kind of guessing the themes of these songs. I really, that's a little bit of a joke. You guys have listened to some of the episodes, right? So you could tell sometimes either feels like Joey's like way on or he's like way off. So be interested to see if Joey, are you going to try to guess some of the themes of these songs? Or are you going to
Dude,
try that here?
I'm not going to, but you know, so I just wrote down some facts for this particular one here. So this is the track where you guys kind of ping pong the vocals, right? One of you guys sing the chorus, and the other one sings the. I think Mark sings the verses, John sings the choruses, and this is the most Starflyer sounding song I heard on the record. Like it felt like I was going back into 1998 when I was playing some of those songs. So it sounds really good. It's probably my favorite song. I think it's probably my favorite song.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah.
mine as well. The first riff, it's obviously inspired by Starflyer later's record for sure.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what song was. It was off of the Silver record. It kind of sounded like, man, what's that song? Honestly, you tried to sing
Is that
just to
Hazelwood?
hold me. Hazelwood, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I probably know the lyrics more than Jason does, believe it or not. But it kind of sounds like a Hazelwood song. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it kind of brought me back like 30 years. So.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and translated the song for the non-speaking Spanish or Spanish-speaking people listening to this. So I'm just going to read it out. So hopefully it's close enough. When I was able to try everything, and I slip in the cold current of my time, what is past is really done. There is no fear of what could have been or could not have been. If you go away, you look back again, and nothing is real. I leave everything behind. I cannot repair anything. It seems kind of. It just seems like you have no hope in a way, and it could have just been a feeling that you had at one particular time. And I'm not saying like you guys aren't Christians or anything like that. It's just you might have felt like this during a particular point in your life.
Yeah. So obviously, like, you know, John is the one that wrote the chorus of this song. That's where the song was born from. You know, he created the chorus. In fact, it's one of the hardest songs that one of the songs that we had a really tough time to finish, because we had the chorus, but we didn't know what to do with the verse. And that's where Mark suddenly shows up with the verse, and we're like, okay, this works. Let's just record this. And it ended up being one of our most favorite songs. Mm-hmm. I think it's cool because, one thing is we try to be really... yes, some of us, you know, are actively like, you know, our faith obviously influences this, you know, what we do, but we try to make it as real as we can, because you would be lying if you would said that everything's positive all the time, right? And so we try to be just real. Whatever comes out at that time, it is what we want to write about, right? And so, but I feel like there's two sides of it. Like you've got the verse saying something that's more hopeful in a way, but at the same time, you've got the chorus kind of being pessimistic and saying, I can't change this. But not changing it also, and this is just me talking, right? I mean, you could talk to John and he would probably give you his take. But I feel like not changing something also could mean, it could be hopeless, but at the same time, it's like, I can let go of this and just let it happen, and that's it. You know, it could also be a positive thing. You know, it doesn't have to be necessarily bad. But I do like yeah, exactly. It's out of my hands. I can't. So I let it go, basically. Yeah. But I do love the verse where it says, I'm no longer afraid, basically. Like it's gone. I let it go. Then there's this other person kind of saying, hey, things happen. I can't change it. But I let it go too.
That's it is like take. That. And it is like that because John did his part and then Mark did his part, and I'm pretty sure that they didn't talk about that, like he didn't like agree in a topic or whatever. So that's why there's like a two kind of way of see things, you know, in just one song.
You have multiple people, like, you know, he's writing the chorus part, whoever's singing the chorus. Mm-hmm. You know, the other person is writing the other part. That's pretty okay.
Yeah, it wasn't written by one person only. It was written by two people, actually like months apart even, right? Because we didn't know what to do with the song. Then Mark just sat down and did this, and it made sense.
And it comes together very well too, because like I just read that, and that just seems like, you know, just like a despairing, you know, part of somebody's life, and it all makes sense. It doesn't seem disconnected, so that's pretty awesome, guys.
I love the ambiguity of it. I mean, like Pablo can think about it in some way, and I can think of another thing about it. I mean, I love that kind of. It's not like literal, you know. You can just think about it whatever way you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Up for interpretation.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So, well, cool. Yeah. Did you want to add anything else, Cody, before I go to the next song? Or
I could actually. Sorry, Joey, I made you take the last one. I froze for a second because I was just nervous because I'm the odd man out here. I'm gonna try this next one though.
Okay, here we go.
All right. El Mundo en mis brazos. Overthought it yet. Okay. You got a guest vocalist on here, Lucia Masnada of Fin del Mundo. So that's really cool. Is she on multiple songs? Do you have okay, gotcha. So,
no, just that one. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So Joey did a really good job of translating these lyrics. So I'll take some of these lyrics just the same way he did. So translated from Spanish into English. There are so many things we did here, the world in my arms, and I tend to forget. Time passes, the days change, and the best thing is seeing you arrive. Waves fall on my chest, your warmth brings me to shore. Hours pass, and it is very true. Your warmth draws me to the ground. Hours pass, and it is very true. Your warmth draws me to the ground. So I don't know if that flows as good as Costa Rican Spanish, but hopefully we did it a little bit of justice with the translation there. And very fitting that you all are right there by the ocean in San Jose too. So
You did great. It's actually really good. It's actually refreshing to hear it that way, because it gives you a different emotion even, when you hear
yeah,
it.
interesting. Would you consider recording some of these songs in English at some point? Have you been asked to record any songs?
I don't know, that's a
in
good
English?
idea. Maybe that's a project for the future. Yeah, but it really does sound beautiful. Yeah, like it's really cool.
Yeah.
I have a question about your lyrics. So at the last two, I don't know if you call them stanzas, I have no idea, but your warmth draws me to the ground. Like, is that like in a praying position, or is that something else?
Haven't think about that way, but if you think about it that way, it's beautiful. I mean, it makes sense for sure. So I did that song. So when I write lyrics, I think more about like I think more like about visual scenes, so it's more like I just try to evoke some emotions. So I try to put words that the goal is to evoke like some kind of emotion. In this case in particular, this song was written about my daughter. So she was born like a year and a half. So I wrote that song around that time, and I was just trying to write like a love song, because it's easier for me, and I think it's easier for John and Mark as well, because we have talked about this, to write like songs in like about heartbroken way. It's easier to write sad stuff. So for this record, we tried to make something different, and we didn't manage to do it for all the songs, but for some there are like more like hopeful lyrics, and for example this one, and yeah, so I just tried to write like a love song for my daughter, but yeah, of course you can like think about it in different ways for sure.
Open to interpretation, like you said. Yeah. And I tend to have the Christian glasses on too. You know what I mean? Like I kind of see it like when it says your warmth brings me to the shore. I could, it could be God's love bringing you to His creation, and you could appreciate that, brings you to the ground. It could be, it makes you show reverence for the Lord. So that's kind of like, that's just kind of what I see. But I could definitely see, I have 3 daughters. I could only make girls apparently. So I've been there. I've been there, guys. Yeah. So
Yeah,
But to be honest,
it's very relevant for all of us. Yeah.
yeah, that part of our lives always like embrace everything in some way or another. So yeah, I could I will say that you can find that perspective in most of our songs, because somehow it is there.
yeah. Oh well, even after I translated, I didn't know what the name of your record was. You kind of get the sense this is a very spiritual album. Even though a lot of the lyrics it's not very bluntly like that, but you get the sense of it. So, okay, cool. Let's go to the last one. This is the 3rd most played song on Spotify, and I actually knew what this one is. Like some that's looking at the play. Like Alexa. So I'll go ahead and read the American version of it, okay? So So if I die today, they will bury me on the grass. They will let me. They will let grow the tree where you wait. If I go away, I hope you search for me in this place. You will wake beside me. I know I can't let you go. I know I can't let you go. I am better now. I am enough. I'm not afraid. So that was pretty.
Yeah, roller coaster of emotions. Yeah, I'm hesitant to really give it a meaning, for the whole song, but it's got phrases that resonate with me. That last part, it's Mark screams that part. The same thing happened with this one. Mark just came up with that final part, on his own. And I think Mark does this intentionally, where he looks at the theme of the song and kind of looks for another thing to say.
Almost flips it on its head a little bit.
Yeah, not necessarily like trying to find a good thing to say if it's bad. It's if what's happening is not hopeful, but he does have a great sense of like what's happening, and then he proposes or he brings something else, and I think that's really cool. So I think for me at least, it's again a song of the way I interpret it is a song of desperation at some point, right? Where it's like maybe hopelessness too. But again, it's brought to life by the last statement, which is I'm not afraid. I think it's very human for me. It's like humanity. You're constantly finding situations where you're like doubting yourself or doubting life, and at some point you find the strength to carry on. And so to me, that's what it is. But I can't tell you that's what, like, we didn't sit down and say, this is what the meaning of the song is. It just felt real, and I feel like that's a really important part for us. Is like, does it feel real? Is it evoking anything? And if it does, let's go with it, right?
I was telling my daughter this too, because my daughter's starting to write some songs, right? And she, she's a confessing Christian and stuff, but she feels like if she writes overly spiritual things, it almost seems forced in a way.
Yeah.
And and I told her exactly what you said. If you want to sing about like a boy breaking your heart, just sing about it, And if you want to do another song that has that perspective, you could do that too. But you could tell when something's forced, and it just doesn't feel right. So, but this song was great. I loved your drum playing on this one. I think this is my favorite drum tracks.
Well, that's awesome.
On the record
Thank you.
here. So I appreciate that. Yeah,
great compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But hey, speaking of drums, we're gonna go right into the geeky stuff, unless Cody wants to say something.
Yeah, just Luminosa is definitely one of my favorites. Well, if not my favorite on the record. So super excited we got to cover that.
Awesome.
And my other daughter Charlotte, we were listening to it on the way home from school today, and she loved it too. So okay, so that brings us to the geeky stuff. So we're gonna start talking about your gear, because I want to say 80% of everybody on the VBM Facebook fan page are probably musicians, and they want to know how to get all those cool sounds. So we're going to go ahead and pop up. I want to say it's pronounced as Guy, right? Guy. You're a guitar player? Guy? Okay.
Guy, yeah.
So so I'm going to go ahead and put up, this is his, this is kind of crazy. He only has like 5 pedals here. So it looks like he has a digital delay, which is super important if you're playing this kind of music. Do you know what that black one is that he has next to that one? I don't know if you have the images in front of you. Yeah, but I see a black one that says R1.
That's the reverb, I think, isn't it? Emma, is that a reverb?
Yeah, I'm just looking.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a
black one?
I should have told you about this.
Yeah, the black one is a reverb, I think. Yes, it's a walrus reverb. Yeah, it is a reverb. R1.
Okay.
So
I know what the Blues Driver does. Go ahead.
So no, I just wanted to say that it's curious, because most of the shoegaze guitar players or whatever are like super geeky about pedals and stuff, but that 4 of us, we are not. I mean, Guy is the only one that it's a little bit more geeky about this kind of stuff, but me and John and Mark are like super. We have like minimalistic approach with pedal boards. If you see our pictures, we don't use more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pedals.
Yeah, you only use five or six. It's pretty crazy. Well, I don't know if you saw Kevin Robinson the last episode. His pedal board was there was like 18 pedals, right? And that made sense to me, right? But I thought you guys would have, I don't know, 15, 16 pedals, but it looks like it's so John uses 5, and then Guy uses 5, which is pretty crazy. And then Mark even uses 4, the bass player. So can I skip to Mark really quick? I don't know a lot of bass pedals here. What in the world is this vintage deluxe pedal here?
I think it's like an amp simulator. I think
Like a is that the preamp? I think.
like a preamp,
Right?
yeah, something like
It's a
that.
preamp, yeah. It's got like different like it pushes the tones of the bass. It really does make a big difference in the live setting, especially where like when he turns that on, you feel that bass. It's really cool. And I think Mark is the geekiest of between John and Emma and Mark. He's the geekiest, but he, like Emma said, it's not like they're not constantly tweaking the settings during songs. Obviously, some things changed, right? But they're not like, I know people that would like have presets and they have like MIDI pedals and all that stuff, which is really cool. But it's not really it's not really our case. In a way, it helps kind of keep us controlled because you can go crazy with all that stuff.
Yeah, I think pedals overwhelms me and John as well. So I prefer to, in this case, we prefer like having less than more because if we have what we have, we know how to use it, and that's all we need. I mean, if I start like putting more pedals or whatever, I know that it will be harder for me like to get the sound that I'm looking for. So, for example, I have my slow reverb pedal. It's from Walrus, and I know how to use it. I know how to get the tones that I want, and I don't need another reverb. I mean, why? And I think that's our approach. That's why we have like no more like that. It's not that we have a rule about that, but I mean, I think all of us agree in this topic.
Yeah. I'm going to skip to yours, Emma. Yeah, I'm looking at yours. Looks like you got the same blues driver. I noticed the bass player has a clone pedal, and then you have a small clone.
Yeah,
What are these clone pedals?
it's a chorus. I tried a couple of chorus pedals, and this one, the small clone, is the best one for me. I mean, it's like a classic one, and it sounds great. So I think all of us have like this pedal. I think the only one that, well, Gaia doesn't have it, but I have it, and John and Mark as well. Yeah, it's a great chorus pedal, and
Yeah, chorus is just essential to the sound,
yes.
Like even the bass player?
Yeah, the chorus itself, like I think, obviously reverb, right? But I think chorus is a big thing for our sound. It's the bass, yeah, it does have it, and usually Mark turns it on live and he pushes that a little bit more. It gives it a little bit more fullness, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just saying that I think Mark just uses like a compressor, a chorus pedal, and that preamp pedal. I think that's it for him. But yeah, the chorus, it's really good for bass. That bass clone is really good, and I love the tone that.
Okay. Okay, I see the compressor pedal. Okay, the one that Mark uses. Okay, cool. But I like how you're rocking the little Donner. I think that's just a tuner pedal, right?
It's a tuner, yeah. Actually, I think
The one to the.
it was a gift from Pablo. I think
Yeah, that's pretty.
the tuner pedal, right, Pablo?
A birthday gift, yeah. I got.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember, Emma always like asking John and Mark for the tuner.
Oh, yeah.
In we were practicing, and even in shows, he's like switching the cable to the other pedal board. I'm like, I need to get this guy a
We
tuner.
gotta get this guy
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
You know, he's
And the chromatic tuners are like $130.
Yeah.
Like this was probably like $40. Huh?
Listen, I'm not gonna say how much it was, just to keep the gift.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
But it's
Hey man, it's working.
Worked.
but no, I looked for a balance of cheap and reliable, and I think that was the one.
Right. Hey man, that's the most shocking thing in this interview. How less amount of pedals you guys use. I'm pretty impressed. I'm gonna go to the next one here. Remember how I mentioned the studio picture? So this is boom. There's the studio picture. It looks like you just got a cool little pearl kit. There is that your kit or is that the studio's kit? Pablo?
So the record, so that's the studio kit. I think that time I was just recording with the studio kit, but that wasn't for this record. The cymbal setup is similar to the one that I used. So what we used for the record was have you heard of let me see if I'm saying this correctly. Rogers.
Rogers. Yeah, kits.
Rogers. Yeah. So I got my hands on vintage. I think it's 1970 or 1971 or something. Rogers kit from a friend of mine. He sold it to me, and we kind of restored it. A little bit. It's still like missing some pieces, things like that. But I think the sound is so special. And so we used that one for the record. I wanted to use it. I'm like, I need to use my own kit, and especially if it's a vintage one.
I was gonna say, so I got encouraged with this picture because I'm gonna start recording drums now, right?
Nice.
I bought that Sennheiser, that same tom microphone, and I hear some people saying, don't use that, use the 57. So I got a little bummed out. But now that I know that you guys are using it, and you probably used that on this record, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so I think I'm sold. Yeah,
It works.
So I think that I'm sure. Yeah, because people are saying like, it's too close to the batter. Get a something where you could be versatile.
Right.
But if you got those tones from those microphones, I'm really happy now. So
Yeah, I feel like obviously this is not an engineering session, but and I'm not really that great at it, but I feel like what I've found is, I mean, the drums themselves obviously is what you want to look for, right, to get your sound, but then mics, like we've used all sorts of mics, and in the end, like I feel like just you can change so much in the audio now with plugins and things like that it's just like, I don't know, you could go crazy with it. I'm sure there's a good result and good thinking behind that, but it's like I think you can get really good sound with things that aren't that crazy,
Okay, yeah. And you said you like the old Rogers. So I actually owned a 65 Gold Sparkle Ludwig that was played on the Starflyer Gold record.
No way.
So the gold, I actually owned it, and I traded it to a friend of mine for another Champagne Sparkle kit, which I'm really sad about because I don't think I've ever had a better sounding drum set than that Ludwig. So yeah, and even the drum kit I have right now, I have an 80s Champagne Sparkle kit from Ludwig that is really awesome. It actually has the Coliseum lugs on them.
Nice.
And I don't want to get rid of that. So but
Don't.
I always go for the vintage stuff. I don't know why. It just sounds the best.
There's something, I don't know. It just that's what I like, and it just there's something really special about it, and so my drums are like, I don't even know what the original color was because we painted over it, and who knows if the previous owner painted over it too. But I don't know, the tone and color of it, it's just, I don't know, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, man. I'm going to go to the next picture here. This is you guys, I know that's you, Pablo, on your phone. And I want to say that's either John or, I don't think that's you. I mean, it's the one with the Jaguar.
It's John, yeah.
Playing the Jaguar. It's John, okay, okay. So there's that Sennheiser microphone that I'm proud of now on that tom. And so that's pretty much your studio, huh? That's the studio that you guys record in.
Yeah. Right? It's the one from the top view with the cymbals and...
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So that's
mute
mute out audio. It's the studio we record right now. And I would say it's a simple setup, you know, like nothing really crazy about it. There's a bunch of like vintage instruments and equipment there in the room, and it's not, you know, what I've learned is it's not that like specific, like, you know, put this panel over here and like, I don't know, it's just a room and it sounds good, and you get a good recording out of it, and yeah, it works.
Yeah, and we try to when Pablo records like the drums, we try to play with him. I mean, the guitar players like playing with him, so you can feel like the live flow of the songs. Then we obviously re-record our guitars and everything, but yeah, we try to play with him at the same time when he's recording.
Right, just to get the effect. You know, I was learning that that's what happened with the first Oasis record that they put out. Like, they tried recording in other rooms, and it just didn't give them that live sound that they wanted, so they all decided to play all in one room, and that's how Oasis got their sound. So, yeah, there's something to that.
Feels more natural, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to go to the last part, guys. This is fan questions. I'm going to let Cody take over here. So what I usually do is I say, hey, VBM fan club, any question at all to ask the Adios Cometa guys, you know, go for it. I think I asked yesterday, and immediately I got like 8 different questions. So that was pretty cool. So we're going to go with that. Cody, do you want to go ahead and start it off in the first one?
Is this my question, or is there another Cody? I don't remember writing this.
I don't know who said that. I couldn't find it on the what do you call it? I thought that was you.
Group. No problem. Then I will claim it. And sorry to anybody out there who's listening to this and thinks I stole their question. So what's been the most surprising reaction to the new record so far?
That's a good question. One, I don't know, Emma, think about one, but one I can say is, I remember when we played some of the songs live, even before we released, or we did the release show, but we played one of the songs live, and I remember seeing in one of those upbeat, like I think it was Una Vida en Otra Parte, there was a girl crying, like people were in the mosh pit, like just going crazy, and there was this girl that just like bawling her eyes out. I'm like, well, that's crazy. Like it's an upbeat, you know, kind of like a headbanging kind of song, and she was just crying. And I think that was it really made me appreciate the fact that we created some songs that, yeah, the rhythm and music and texture could be doing one thing, but then the lyrics or the feelings that you're getting from it, you know, may feel different. That's my example of a crazy reaction to the new album. I don't know if Emma has one, but to me that's what it is.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's always crazy when you play in another country as well, and you get reactions from people that lives like so far away from your home. So we went to Argentina. We had the chance to play in Argentina last year.
No way.
The record wasn't out at that time, but we played almost all of the songs that eventually ended up in the record. And I mean, people really enjoyed those songs, and we always were amazed by people that, I don't know. I remember in Buenos Aires, I talked with a couple of person that travel like by train like a couple of hours from another city just to see us in Buenos Aires because they read about we were playing there. It's crazy. I mean,
crazy.
When we played in Mexico, for example, now that I remember about this, we played like
you're right.
We played in Mexico a festival last year, and after the show, some guy came and talked with me, and he was like, "Hey guys, do you know about BBM, Bellable Music?" And it was like, "Oh yeah, for sure. Why are you asking that?" And he was like a Mexican guy, and I don't know. I think if I remember well, he was like a huge Starflyer fan, and he was also part of the BBM group. I can't remember his name, but he was like amazed because we knew about BBM, Starflyer, And he was like, "But have you heard about Jeff Cloud?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure, man." And he was like, "Oh man, I can't believe this." It was crazy, because
Yeah.
you don't usually meet um, people that knows this kind of stuff in the wild. So it was.
You just think like VBM is in Huntington Beach. It seems like just popular in Southern California, but Cloud's all international, man. It's pretty cool.
But
One other one that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Emma. I'll go with another one later.
No, I was just going to say that I think this guy didn't know that we were part of BBM. I don't know if we said something during the show, or maybe he saw our merch or something, but he was really surprised about it. And it was crazy.
He just assumed because of the style of music you're playing that maybe you got to at least know who he is.
Yeah, but he particularly asked about Velvet Music, so I think he maybe saw a
Right.
CD or something, saw the logo or whatever, so he was like amazed because of it.
Cloud, I wanted to ask you a question. Why don't you let the podcast boys, us, and listeners know about the great new project we're working on together?
Breaking news here.
Breaking news.
Yeah, so I have been pitching Jeff the idea of doing like a compilation of Latin American bands. So he's really interested in listening new songs and new bands from this part of the world. So yeah, we have been talking about it for quite some time, but he always talk about cassettes or CDs, and he was like, "Oh man, no, I think we should do like a vinyl record for this." But he wasn't buying into that. So until recently, like I don't know, like some months ago, I was like, "Hey, let's do it, but let's do vinyl records." So he finally agreed, and we're doing like a compilation of Latin American bands, mostly shoegaze, dream pop, and some slowcore.
Like this indie bands from out that way.
Yes. So and we're doing. I think it will be like 13 bands. We carefully choose really good songs that can resonate for sure with BBM fans. So we're pretty excited about showing this new wave of bands from Latin America doing this kind of music.
That's great. Oh,
Well,
exciting.
that's you've heard it here first, folks,
Yes.
on the VBM podcast.
All right. So Scott Hatch of Burnt Toast Vinyl fame asked this question. What famous shoegaze bands have you opened up for in Costa Rica, and why are you better than all of them?
We love Scott. Yeah, we recently saw him, and it's always a pleasure to see him. But I'm not sure I agree with the last part, but I will say that we've been privileged enough to be the openers for a lot of cool bands that we admire. I mean, Nothing, I think, is the one of the ones on high on the list. Big reference in this world. We met the guys, and they were really cool guys too. We got to hang out. We shared snacks backstage, which usually, sometimes you don't get to do that as an opener. They just invited us over, and we just hung out there and had a great time with them. We also opened for Softkill, which is one of my influences for sure in terms of drumming. We love the band too, and we had the opportunity to open for them. We also, what a great show too. This Will Destroy You was one of the highlights of my life. To see them live, it was just such an incredible show, and also incredible people too. They were really approachable, and we were able to hang out and talk to them. Who else? Emma, am I missing?
Soviet from Italy.
Yeah, Soviet. Yeah, from Italy. So yeah, like I think we've been really fortunate to be able to open for really cool bands that we admire, and we never really thought we would be able to meet, and that's opened a lot of opportunities for people that don't necessarily know we exist to kind of get a glimpse of what's happening, with our music. So
Cool.
Yeah, so Jeremy, I'm going to screw up your last name. I should send Jeremy a button or a sticker every time I screw up his name. I'm going to try it again. Jeremy Soboak. Any Florida shows? Adios Cometa in Florida coming up.
So yeah, we would love to tour the U.S., but family life kind of make it difficult for us. But yeah, maybe next year, maybe we will have the chance to go to the U.S. That's part of our plans. Let's see what happens.
So William Eckhart's got the next one. He says, Adios Cometa equals goodbye Comet. What is the story behind your band's name?
It's a funny story. It was my Instagram username for a long time, and but I thought about it, thinking about when I mean, let me think, how can I say it? So yeah, it was my username, but when I first thought about it, it was because I thought like, oh, it would be cool to have a band with that name. So when we finally did this, that was the name that I proposed, and all of us were like, yes, this is the perfect name. But yeah, I remember that I thought about it. I was like having this image of like a kid, like a really young child, like looking at the sky and looking at this comet, like going through the sky, and then looking at that same comet, like, I don't know, 80 years later, when he's like an old man, and that like feeling of nostalgia resonated with me, and I think it captures like really well what we try to express with our music somehow.
Right, and it's kind of spacey, so there's nothing wrong with that, having a cool little spacey name. Now, I thought it was, might be an American thing, but do you guys remember, you guys are fathers, do you guys ever read that book to your kids, Goodnight Moon?
I haven't.
Okay.
No, maybe I
thought
should.
I thought there was a correlation there, like Goodnight Moon and Adios
Interesting.
Cometa. So maybe not. Okay, I
Ooh,
thought.
I'll have to take a look. Maybe there's something there.
Oh, it's one of the. It's the most simple book ever, but it's very, very, like, there's something very calming about it. It's really good. It's called Goodnight Moon. So I thought there was a correlation. I was wrong, like always.
Well, I'm always looking for something to read to my kids. So I'm.
One thing that I can add about it is that cometa in Spanish means kite as well. So it sounds like goodbye kite, like So we also like that way of interpret it, It kind of evokes the same feeling, so it's kind of nice, yeah.
Cool, man. That's good. Well, there's one. Well, okay, so Chet Harvey has two questions. I'm just going to lay it on you guys, okay? So, what is Emma's favorite Starflyer album? That's the first one. And was there already a shoegazer scene in Costa Rica when you guys got going, or did you guys actually see it develop from nothing to where it is now? So, Starflyer album. Tell me about the Costa Rica shoegaze scene.
Gold for sure. It's my favorite. Not only my favorite Starflyer album,
Gold?
but my favorite album ever, I will say. And then Americana. Yeah, it's close enough. Those two are my favorites for sure.
Oh yeah, Americana's my favorite Starflyer record. Yeah, America for sure is my favorite.
Good choice.
Right on. What about you, Pablo? What's your favorite Starflyer record?
Oh well, I'm more of a new guy when it comes to Starflyer. I didn't know them before, or when they did those like legacy, like huge albums. But to me, the latest album is beautiful, and I think, what was the one before that? You can probably edit this out, but I need to look at the name.
No, it's okay. It's probably, is it Lust for Gold?
Yeah, that one. Lust for Gold is the last one, but then the one before that.
Vanity.
Oh, I don't know.
Let me look.
Yeah, we'll edit. Don't worry.
Let
Yep,
me look
it up.
because I forget that one. But I remember when
Vanity,
Emma
I think.
showed me
Is it not
Starflyer. I
Vanity?
started. Yeah.
Vanity, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Vanity. Okay.
Vanity, and yeah, and so but I'm just a big fan of the Western influence of it. It's there,
Yep.
and it's, I don't know, it's beautiful. I really like it.
I won't get mad at you guys if you didn't pick the album I played on. So I'll
Anything
let it-
but leave
I'll let
here
it-
a stranger.
I'll let it pass. I'll let it pass. No kidding around. Like my favorite is Americana, so I'm with you.
Which album was the one that
You're
you
kind of
play
breaking
on?
up.
Play on.
Oh, I played on. Okay, so 2 EPs. The first one was Fell in Love in 22 EP. It's the one with the satellites on it, and then I played on Leave Here a Stranger, and then Can't Stop Eating with the one right after that. So
That's crazy.
and then
That's
after that, I quit and I went to college. So yeah.
I love Leave Here
beautiful,
on
beautiful
Strange.
songs there. I love
Yeah,
it.
that was a fun time. That was the best, one of the best experiences of my life. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. So well, cool. I think we're gonna go into the closing part, guys. So this is where we like to get all like.
Oh, we forgot about the shoegaze scene in Costa Rica. Maybe Pablo can talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Chet,
yeah.
sorry about that. Okay, tell me about the shoegaze scene. Tell me about the shoegaze scene.
Well, yeah. I think it's a mix of. It's mostly the latter. There are bands that have been doing it before us. Obviously, there's a band Lentamente, which I'm not trying to plug myself in, but I play with them. But like Dylan Thomas is another band that they've been doing this for a while too. There were bands doing their own thing all around like these genres, and when we started, I remember like us collecting references of these bands, right? We're like, this is what people are doing right now. Let's use that as a reference of what's happening here. But I feel like as a scene, things started developing, close. Like we got on a wave, basically, and it's now I feel like finally developing more, and there's a vibrant scene right now of music that's that kind of revolves around that music genre. So it's kind of a mix of both. There were people doing it already before us, obviously, but I feel like the scene has grown lately with bands that have emerged, while after COVID, and I want to give props again to Emma and Furia, which is his, you could call it a label. Is Furia really has done a big effort to centralize or kind of unite the efforts and kind of make a scene, because people were doing things apart from each other, or kind of like I feel like, this is my opinion obviously, but I feel like they were doing their thing and kind of getting together with other bands or other things happening, but we're not necessarily the same scene. So I think Furia came in and kind of like started collecting more things and unifying efforts, and it's now become a scene, I think. And it's vibrant. There's really cool bands, coming up, young people kind of, rediscovering what vinyl is, what cassettes and CDs are. Like there's people buying merch all the time here that you would think that they wouldn't know what a cassette is, because they really haven't experienced it before, but they want to buy it because they believe in the music and they believe that's the way to support, and they like having things on their hands.
Some tangible.
Yeah.
Just have some tangible.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So
well, even that you talked about Lucia that played on one of your songs here. Like, I guess she's in a very notable band.
Oh, yeah.
Fin del Mundo.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that band's like pretty huge, right?
Sure.
That's what I gather.
yeah, so she's from Argentina too, and definitely a reference and part of the influence that we have, and we were listening to them, especially John. Like he was really into Fin del Mundo, and he introduced them to us, and to be able to collaborate with them is a privilege and a pleasure.
So tell me where to buy Adios Cometa merchandise. We talking Bandcamp, Velvet Blue Music?
If you want to get our latest record, you can find it on Steadfast Records for the US. And if you are in Europe, you can find it on Spinda Records. If you are in Costa Rica, you can do it through Furia or a small label. And yeah, you can also, if you want our first EP, like que Somos, Velvet Blue Music just did like the first vinyl run of it. So yeah, you can find it on Velvet Blue Music and also Bandcamp. And yeah, our first record, Nuestras Manos Son Incendios, is sold out. But yeah, later this year we're planning to do like a new reissue with Steadfast Records. And yeah, we have all our music on Bandcamp. We love Bandcamp. So yeah, if you can go there, you will find some like exclusive stuff. Like we just post like a B-sides and demos compilation like a couple of weeks ago. It's only on Bandcamp. We also have like a couple of small EPs with live recordings and stuff like that we just have on Bandcamp. But you obviously can find us on Apple Music and Spotify, whatever you want.
Okay.
Right on.
Yeah, and any shows coming up here, guys? I know you have releases coming up, but any shows to to promote those?
We're playing. We always love to do this. We do this yearly. We go to there's this beautiful town out in the mountains. That's where the good coffee grows in Costa Rica. So there's a place there where we've been invited for a couple of years now, and we always try to go back and play there. So it's kind of cool to go out of San Jose. In Costa Rica, most of the shows happen in San Jose, in the capital. So going out there is really cool. So that show's coming up. That's in July, I think. And then we're planning some shows in Mexico for the remainder of the year, and some other surprises that we're thinking of visiting some other cool places. Colombia, yeah. So we're excited about that, going to a new place. So yeah, that's our hope. We'll see how we manage with kids and all of that, but we're trying to get there.
Yeah. It gets easier when they get older, but I'm not even going to try to ask you guys to come to Idaho. I don't think it's happening. So I'm not even going to request it. You
Hopefully
guys
that's a reality soon.
South American band, I guess. But no, I'd love you guys. If you guys are ever up here, man, I'd love to have you up and hang out. So yeah, let me know if that ever happens. Yeah, let's just do our closing thoughts here, guys. I really, really appreciate you coming on the show, and it's really, really good getting to know you guys. I was telling Kevin Robinson last time, I always get a little nervous because I know you guys like rock and you guys are very talented. And they say never meet your heroes, but you guys are very humble. And keep doing what you're doing. I think everything you're doing is great. You really brought me back, to the old Starflyer days when I first started playing with them back in 1998. Just that whole, solid rock. Oh, did we lose Pablo?
I think so.
But anyway, just that solid rock sound, He was probably getting emotional, so he had to jump off, for all the nice things I'm saying. But anyway, Emma, thank you so much for everything that you do, and I just hope you keep it up. And
yeah, just again, I really thank you so much for agreeing to come on, Emma. It was nice to talk with you and Pablo and learn more about the band. Been a big fan of the records for a while, and just we're excited to get people who don't yet listen to the records or haven't heard the new record a chance to hear more about this and go and listen and maybe pick up a CD or one of those awesome cassettes or vinyls. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yep, and we'll have you when you release the next thing. We'll have you on again. Okay, we're looking forward to that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. It's an honor to be here, and thanks for all of you that listen to us from the U.S. It's crazy how music can go all over the world. I mean, we don't even speak like the same language, like the same mother language, but music goes all the way around the world, and that's the craziest part for me.
Thanks for listening to the Velvet Blue Music podcast. To support Velvet Blue Music and the artists you've heard today, pick up records directly at velvetbluemusic.com, and be sure to follow and stream our bands on platforms like SoundCloud and Bandcamp. For more conversations with artists from across Velvet Blue's 30 plus years of history, follow us on Facebook and Instagram so you never miss an episode. This is a Velvet Blue Music production.